Good morning. For those of you who don't know, my name is Condi Starks, and I like to visit with people about my success on the ketogenic diet. I have lost, as of the last weigh in, which was yesterday, 37 pounds by doing nothing more than just cutting out the sugar. Now, that also means everything that turns to sugar. The ketogenic diet is pretty basic. When you simplify it in your mind, then you can simplify it on your plate. It's not as complicated as what it may sound. You don't need a food plan. You don't need to buy anything. It is really very simple. Basically, the bottom line is you want your grams of carbohydrates to be less than 20 grams a day. Now, your carbohydrates come from your plant-based foods, sugar, grains, starches, and of course your sugar. You do get carbohydrates from your vegetables, so they are not unlimited. You can't tie on the feed bag and chow down on half a pound of broccoli because, first of all, you're going to feel like crap if you try. And you're going to get a lot of carbohydrates. There's a lot of questions about the ketogenic diet that a lot of people have. And when you think about it and you look at the questions, it's usually just trying to overcomplicate it. I started the ketogenic diet May 22nd of 2018, so just a few months ago. This is October, almost November, so that many months ago. And the way I started was pretty simple. I understood the concept. So if you don't understand the concept, I would recommend do some research. You can Google it. You can YouTube it. That's where I get most of my information, YouTube. There's a lot of good personalities that with very good credentials who actually teach it free. I go to YouTube, Adapt Your Life, Dr. Eric Westman. He's the one that he puts it in his clinical practice. He is a professor at Duke University, and he has a lifestyle clinic that teaches this. And he has a actual page of accepted foods. And that's the mantra in his group is, if it's not on page 4, don't eat it. I never downloaded it. I have an idea what's there and what's not, but I don't do the food list. I mean, if I had a struggle or something or had a question, then yeah, you can look it up. You can find it. It's easy. Dr. Ken Berry. He's another one. He's very down to earth, very easy to listen to. He lays it out pretty black and white and very easy to follow. He's a family physician in Tennessee. And he started looking into it when he started gaining weight and noticed that his patients were too. So he started looking into it and it's like, hey, wait, yeah, there's something here. Dr. Mark Hyman, he's another good one. He has a site called Doctor's Pharmacy, spelled with an F instead of a PH. He is a doctor at Cleveland Clinic. He has some good information on it. Dr. Jason Fung, which is he's a kidney specialist. I can't even say that. I'm not even going to try. If nothing else, if my videos aren't informative, at least watching me try to stumble over big words can be entertaining. Anyway, kidney specialist. And he addresses the ketogenic diet and fasting, therapeutic fasting. Dr. Eric Berg, he's a chiropractor, but he gave up his chiropractic practice to study natural nutritional health and healing. And he has a lot of good information on the ketogenic diet. So there's a lot of good credentialed information. And then there are a lot of people like myself that get on and do motivational type videos. So there's a lot of free way to get information, but for me, it has to be simple. I like to say, keep it simple, sweetie. Kiss it, keep it simple, sweetie. And basically, the way I started, I got up one morning, I stepped on the scales, I saw that 322-pound number that just made me nauseated. Maybe that's why it was easy to start, because my stomach was yucky because of that number. I started on May 22nd. It was easy for me to remember because it was May 22nd and I weighed 322, so you know. And I got up and after weighing, I was making my breakfast, which was usually bacon, eggs, and toast. And I looked down at my plate and I went, why? And I threw the toast away. And that's where I started. Just ate the bacon and eggs. So starting it, you don't need anything elaborate. You don't need an elaborate food plan, calculators. You don't need charts. You don't need them. They're there. If you like to do it that way, you can. If you enjoy the challenge of complicating things, a lot of people do. That's just the way their brain works. Mine doesn't work well enough to do that. I have to keep it very simple or I'll lose track of it. I'm not saying anything ugly about myself. I'm just cute like that. Anyway, and then from there, just challenge yourself every day. Today, I'm not going to eat bread. I'm not going to eat anything that tastes sweet. And I started even with no diet soft drinks. And the reason is, for me, that sweet taste, I was afraid would trigger sweet cravings. Some people would have that problem. Some people do not. Now, since I've pretty much got the sweet cravings under control, I've had a few Diet Cokes and a few Diet Dr. Peppers, and I've not had any fallout for that. So, I'm not saying don't do those. I'm just saying you be the master of your body and you decide what works for you and what doesn't. The friend of mine, she has a sweet tooth, so she did a lot of sugar-free Jellos at first and then weeded off of it. So, you can ease into this or you can jump in with both feet. It's up to you what you want, what your goals are and how well you know yourself. But first you must know yourself. From the beginning, because at that weight, as you can imagine, I had a lot of edema, which is swelling, a lot of edema on my feet and legs and ankles and fingers and rings I couldn't wear anymore. A lot of that is fluids. Well, when you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, your kidneys are going to hang on to a lot of sugars and salts. It's just, I'm not for sure the whole science behind it, but I just knew it does. When you cut your sugars and carbohydrates out, You will lose that. I know a lot of people blame salt for swelling, and I'm not a debater and I have no desire to enter into a debate, so they can believe that if they want to. But the science is showing it's really the carbohydrates that do it more than the sugar or salts. If you have high blood pressure, Dr. Westman says if you have high blood pressure or heart failure, then watch your salt. Otherwise, you don't have to worry about it. Other doctors on there are saying the salt doesn't affect the blood pressure. So they're still controversial. They're still weighing the pros and cons of it. So, I'm not going to say one way or the other. I'm going to say for me, I can eat salt all day long and not have a big problem. But the minute there's a little sugar in something, I puff up like a blowfish. Every time. I just puff right up. And I've known that for years. So, you'll get to learn your body when you do something like this. When you start paying attention to what you eat, you will learn what your sensitivities are. You'll learn whether or not, if for you can do the Diet Cokes and Diet Dr. Peppers and be fine. And Diet Mountain Dew is one of my favorites. You'll be absolutely fine. But some people, not so fine. And you'll learn. You watch yourself. You watch what you eat. And you'll learn. Now, there are, at the beginning, if you dive in with both feet, you could have an issue at the very beginning, the first week or so, that they called the keto flu. What happens there is you have lost, as you're losing your build up sugars and salts and stuff in your kidneys, and you're losing a lot of fluid. I lost 10 pounds in that first week of just fluids. You don't lose 10 pounds a week in fat. I don't care. You can starve yourself and not lose 10 pounds a week in fat. I lost 10 pounds that first week, and it was fluid. I ran to the bathroom all the time. I swear. And then you end up cramping, leg cramps, and yucky feeling, headachy. I got headachy. You might feel blah. Some people talk about having diarrhea. Just honestly, you feel like you've got the flu. And that's why they call it keto flu. Now, before the term keto or ketogenic, it was called the Atkins flu, because this is pretty much the Atkins diet come to life again. But there are ways to fix that. To me, I expected it. I knew it was coming, so I just kind of powered through it. It's like, grumble, leave me alone. I don't feel good. But I'll feel better in another few days. A friend of mine, she kept organic peanut butter. And that is your peanut butter that has no sugar added, so your natural peanut butter. And she would have a spoonful of that to kind of help get her through. Other people talk about putting bouillon cubes in hot water, making like broth. Those are high in salt. And that fixed it just like that. So, and that fixes all of it, the cramps and the tiredness and everything. I didn't know about that at the time, so I just powered through. So were people watching this, if they're curious as to how to start, you got a bonus tip that I didn't have. Make you some bouillon broth. Just heat up some water, put a bouillon cube in it. If you're having trouble feeling hungry, put a little butter in it. Chicken bouillon cube with butter, that's not bad. And I mean real butter, not margarine. But so where to start? Start where you want to start. What's your biggest problem? I always figured start with the biggest problem, because once you get that and conquer, the rest of them just fall into place. Some people might go, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I don't want to give up my bread yet. I'll start small. So start by getting rid of everything that's sweet. And you'd be amazed about how much better you feel, how quickly you feel better. And then build on it. I started straight up. I knew grains were killing me. And grains, that's whole grains, that's all grains. So no breads. I don't care. Cornbread, whole grain breads, quote, heart healthy bread, which really isn't. No cereals, no oatmeal, no corn. Corn is a grain. It's not a vegetable, folks, really. Corn has its own evilness, I think. Who cares? It's yummy. Not when you know what it's doing to your body. It doesn't stay yummy. And everything that's sweet. So I stopped everything. I ended up throwing out sugar, flour. When you get rid of one food, you need to add something else. Or else you're going to be hungry. I added my fats. Olive oil, coconut oil, heavy whipping cream, bacon, the fat on the ribeye, chicken thighs instead of chicken breast, skin on. The skin on your chicken really is health food. It really is. It's full of good collagen, which helps with your joints and your skin. It's really good, very good for you. If you're going to have Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'd recommend pulling the skin off and throwing it away, not because it's the skin, but because of the flour that they roll it in before they put it in that horrible vegetable oil vat of poison. Guess where I don't eat. It's not difficult to start. It's really pretty easy. Start with getting some education, learning what's going on, because once you understand the how it works and why it works, then it's fairly easy, fairly simple to make it work for you. A lot of doctors talk about adding organ meats. They are very healthy. I can't bring them past my doorstep, let alone put them in my mouth. I'm sorry. I don't like them, and I don't have a desire to learn to like them. So I don't do organ meats. You can make this very individual. It is so flexible. I mentioned that in the video about how restrictive it is. It's really not. You get all your good stuff. In that video, I mentioned going to Olive Garden. If you like shrimp, get the shrimp scampi. I like chicken. I don't do a lot of seafood. We had chicken scampi. And I asked them to hold the pasta. I just want the toppings. The first time the waitress went, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "If you can just," she said, "So you just only want the sauce?" I said, "I want the meat, the vegetables, the sauce." Yeah. She goes, "Okay." Well, when you think about it, if you just eat a plate of pasta with nothing on it, it's pretty bland. It's the toppings that make it good. So you're throwing out the bland stuff and eating the yummy stuff. That's the way I view it. So, you can figure out what works for you. If you like to cook, you can cook to your heart's content. If you don't like to cook, you don't have to cook. If you're vegan and you don't want to eat animal products, you can make it work that way too. You get your plant proteins. Now, it'll be a little more difficult to keep your carbohydrates below the 20, but it can be done. There's a YouTube, Dr. Barbara O'Neill from Australia. She's a vegan keto doctor. And she teaches how to do it. You can learn. So it's not a one size fit all eating plan. So when people ask me, so what do you do? And I tell them keto. Ooh, is there a food plan? That would be very difficult to do since it is so very flexible. Basically, I just tell them the same thing I'm saying now. Just cut out the sugar and everything that turns to sugar. Keep your carbohydrates down to 20 or less a day, 20 grams or less a day, and then just eat. It's the only thing I look at is how many carbohydrates are in it. Today for breakfast, I had bacon and cheddar cheese. Bacon and cheese together is very good. I'm good and satisfied. You know, you can make it as complicated as you want. You can dig into some of the keto-fied recipes if you like to cook, make keto bread and keto desserts and stuff. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Yeah. I love potato chips. I like salt crunchy. So when I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore, I went and bought me a jar of pickles, the hamburger slice pickles. If I'm in the mood for something salty, I just get a little bowl full of those. Sit back and watch TV. Pork rinds can substitute. You can find things to make this work. The only challenge in going keto is making up your mind to do it. It's really the only challenge. It's very simple to do. It's a very easy concept. You just cut down your carbohydrates. I eat vegetables. Yes, I do. I don't eat them as much as I used to because I don't want them as much as I used to. Like I said, you can be vegan and do it. So vegetables aren't a no-no. Fruit is frowned upon. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, mainly it's sugar. Fruits have been so crossbred and rebred and changed to increase their sugar content way beyond the way God created them and said in the Bible for all your fruit bearing trees except for the one you can eat from. You know, they've changed. Bananas in the old days, way back, the first banana was a little hard, not sweet piece of fruit with seeds in it. Now a banana is a candy bar in a yellow wrapper. Oh, but potassium, you hear about that? A banana has half the potassium as an avocado. So it's not even a good source of potassium. It's hyped up to be by the Del Monte company, of course, the Chiquita banana. But in reality, it's just a candy bar in a yellow wrapper. Apples, they're not what they used to be. Before they were crossbred and hybrid to be a little sweet little red candies hanging off the tree. They used to be more like your crab apples. Small and tart, sour. And they used to only be eaten about once a year, right around the fall time when they got ripe. Everyone who has a fruit tree knows there's just a small window of when that fruit is edible. It goes from green to falling off the tree and rotting on the ground. And you want to hit that little window in between there. Well, the ancestors in the early times, they ate it during that window. They didn't truck it in from Chile. They didn't pick it green, shoot it full of gases to ripen it real fast so we can make a good dessert with it really fast. So fruit, it's not the health food that the fruit companies want you to believe it is. And fruit juice, has as much sugar as soda pop. So, there's reasons why fruit, other than a few berries, and berries have a very low glycemic index. So, you can have a few berries and not mess up your ketogenic way of eating. But again, if you can do without them, then you can use those carbohydrates that would have been in that berry and have a little more of your green beans or your leafy greens or your broccoli, or which higher in nutrients and lower in carbohydrates. So, but if you want a treat, berries are okay. A few, not many. And basically it's that simple. The hardest part about doing a ketogenic diet is changing your mindset. And once you do that, then the rest is pretty easy. Yeah. I treat the carbohydrates with the same view that I treated cigarettes when I quit smoking. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it was killing me. So I was able to put them down and walk away. Yeah, I had my withdrawals, and yeah, I had my irritability, and nobody seemed to pity me through it or tip me with a cigarette. Just here, have one. One won't hurt you. Use it in moderation. Just smoke in moderation. I didn't hear that during that time. What I heard is, I'm proud of you. Keep it going. You're doing good. But when you try to stop the sugar, you hear, oh, come on, you can have one. Really? I could never do that. Yeah. You hear, well, here, there's this fake stuff. You don't hear about fake cigarettes when you're quitting smoking. I mean, yeah, they play around with the vapes, the vapor cigarettes and stuff. And some people use those to quit smoking, but some people, but you don't get the support with this that you do with other habits that you're going to break. So be prepared for that. It's not as much controversy in quitting smoking as there is in quitting sugar. You don't have, so the hardest part is making up your own mind to do it. The rest is simple. It's pretty simple. It's the easiest diet or eating plan I have ever followed. It's the simplest eating plan I've ever followed. And it is the best I have ever felt in years and years. Energy's up. Brain fog is gone. Depression's gone. I am so passionate about it that this is the second video I made today. The first one, I ended up going into a rant and deleting it because that's not the way I want to be viewed as, angry, throw a fit. But boy, I got on a soapbox and I was like a good old Pentecostal preacher preaching this stuff this morning. So I deleted that video because it's really a personal journey. And nobody needs me in their face yelling at them about it. Nobody needs anybody in their face yelling at them about it. Anybody who wants to do it, I'll be glad to help them with it. I'll be more than glad to help them with it. Follow my videos, share my videos. I would love to see all these videos that myself and all these people are doing, I would love to see them be mainstream. Would love it, because of so many things, so many health issues that are being corrected by just getting rid of the sugar and starches. I mean, the list grows every time I turn on YouTube or turn on or do a little more research. There's something else that it's helping with. I watched videos this morning showing how, this is even helping with cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and all the complications that come along with diabetes. Kidney failure, blindness, losing your limbs, death. I'm seeing so many different things every time I step into it, something else that is being reversed and corrected by following this eating style. So I get excited, I get on a soapbox, and I get passionate. And when that happens, I get ugly. So anyway, it's not difficult. Where do you start? Just get rid of the bread or the sugar. Either start by jumping in with both feet, it's all or nothing, or start with one thing and step into it. Be prepared for not a lot of support on the outside, because it is still fairly controversial, which I don't understand why, but it is. And it is, something that seems like a fad because it's got a new name. Ketogenic diet seems like a fad. And some mainstream will even call it a fad, but it's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's really not a fad. As a matter of fact, it follows the way our ancestors back in the paleo days ate. It's pretty stinking cool, really. Check into it. And if you have any questions, look me up. Condi Starks on YouTube, Condi Starks on Facebook. I'm there. I don't do a whole lot. I post my videos on Facebook, but I don't do a whole lot of stuff. I've got a health journal that I try to keep updated, but I haven't been doing a very good job of that lately because I've been just doing the YouTubes and posting those on my homepage. And those other names I mentioned. There's a lot of information out there. And it's a lot of good information. There's a lot of crappy information too. Like buy this product, buy that product. There's people that's always gonna want to sell you something. You don't have to buy it to be this. This is the most economic way of eating. I mean, you want to use your fattier hamburger instead of the more expensive lean meat. Yeah, I like my ribeyes. I have a ribeye, which is a little more expensive than some of your other steaks, but you want bacon, eggs. Eggs are not expensive at all. So, basically you're getting rid of the crap. So you're not buying that, so that's saving you money. And it really is the most economic eating plan out there. You don't have to pay money to join a club, or, you're not being, when I went to Tops, if you gained weight, you had to pay like $0.25 per pound you gained. So you got punished for gaining weight. There's no punishment here. There's no public weighings. You don't announce your weight loss to the whole world if you don't want to. You can if you do. I'm pretty proud of my 37 pounds. I'll be glad to tell everyone I lost 37 pounds. Some people don't weigh at all. Some people don't do this to lose weight. Some people do this to get to be a healthy weight, whatever that may be. So, I mean, I don't understand why everyone's not doing this. but that's because I'm passionate about it. Anyway, I'm going to get off here because it's a little long. So, love you. Have a good day. And we will talk to you later. Bye bye.